And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paul Hilz versus Aaron Foster conference call. The first of our BKB lockdown conference calls. Expect fireworks in this one as two 80-kilogram giants collide. Paul, we'll start with you. It's a difficult fight to take. You've obviously got the fight with Chris Tracese coming up for the British title. Why have you taken this fight against a very unknown quantity in Aaron Foster?
Well, you know what it's like, George. You've been following the journey with the British title shot. That is my priority. But I've been working hard through the lockdown bollocks we had before. I did really want to get my hands on Chris and get that British title sort of under wraps, but it's not going to happen. No disrespect to Aaron, we didn't even know anything about this fight, if you get what I'm saying. It was all to do with the British title. Obviously, when we did get told that we was going to get a fight behind closed doors, I've worked hard. George, I stay active all the time. So whether it's the British title fight or just a fight, it's saying I want to succeed in, mate. Do you know what I mean? So we took it, and then BKB was like, not who do you want to fight, but sort of what sort of fight do you want? And I sort of said, I want a fucking, a fight that's going to entertain the crowd sort of thing. Mm-hmm. They come back with Aaron, told me that he was obviously new to the game, but he's hungry. Obviously, he's a fresh young man to the BKB sport. He wants to make a name for himself. I said, I'll take the fight, and we took it, George, just because that's what fighters do, mate. There's nothing, there's no fucking whatever. I've still got my title shot with Chris when the arena's back open. Obviously, if Aaron does beat me, it's been said to me that the fight still will go ahead with Chris Tracese, but then my first defence would have to be against Aaron. So on that side, I never look past anyone, George, that's for sure. And obviously, I know what could happen in BKB. I got fucking opened up 7 cuts in 40 seconds, anything can happen. And I'm not going to look, past any opponent thinking, oh, I'll be all right. It's fucking bare knuckle boxing, bruv. You might not get that chance. You think you're going to be all right, and you ain't going to be all right, So I had to have it that my ultimate goal was obviously championship fights, George. And as long as I know that's set in stone, win, lose or draw, I'm going to turn up on the night, mate. And like I do every time, mate, I'm going to fucking lay it on the line, George,
And the same question to you, Aaron, because obviously this is your debut. You're taking an extremely tough fight against the number one contender in the division. Why have you done it?
Well, for me, it's been like a roller coaster, really. I started off doing, I've come from a different background to most of the people that fight on the show. I started off, doing charity fights and stuff like that and unlicensed boxing. And then I started getting into the bare knuckle boxing. I had a few tear-ups. And I just fucking loved it. It's a proper mental game. Like, you've got to think a lot differently to just normal boxing, in my opinion, because normal boxing, you can take a hit and you can recover from it. Whereas in bare knuckle, you could take that one hit and you ain't coming back from it. So for me, it's a challenge. I like the thrill of it, the adrenaline rush you get. And, it's a proper fucking sport, innit? Do you know what I mean? You watch boxing, you think, oh yeah, that looks like a hard punch, but it don't look like it's done much damage. But when you're watching BKB, you think, fuck me, these boys must be hungry because they're just going at it. And, when obviously Jim put the thing out about there's a lockdown show, I was like, I've been waiting forever to try and get on here. So I said, listen, straight away, I'll take a fight. And then he come back, he said, Paul. And then obviously, I've watched a couple of Paul's fights from beforehand. And I said, you know what, fair enough. There is a good chance he could beat me, or I could win. It's a challenge. So, I took it. It is what it is. We're going to go to war on the night. So.
Well said, Aaron. And for you, Paul, obviously I'll put this both directions. Age. It does play a factor somewhat into this. Obviously you're 39 years old. Aaron is 23, which is a pretty
That's just a vicious throat, George. I'm not 39, mate. Something out that line.
But all joking aside, how much does it play into this? Is age really a big factor in this fight?
Who are you putting that to me or Aaron, George?
Yeah, Paul.
Age, I think, is a factor in any of my fights, George, because, to be able to say I should have hung up the gloves, you know what I mean? I think because I didn't start till I was 28, it plays a massive impact that I've not been doing it since I was 6 or 7, taking on loads of fights, hundreds of amateurs or whatever. I got into it at 28, George, you know the story, mate, and it's just one of them things where I still feel like I've got a lot to give. You know my philosophy of doing 10,000 hours at St George.
Yep.
I've just hit my 10,000 hours, mate, in boxing. So no matter whether I'm like this good compared to the next man, myself, I'm the best that I can be. And if that's at 39, bruv, that's at 39. I'm the fittest I've ever been. I'm not trying to fucking sound great here. I'm just stating facts. I'm the fittest I've ever been. I used to be a big fat fucker walking around on steroids. You know, it's a different
Me
lifestyle.
too, brother. Been there.
You know that, Aaron.
Brutal. Looking like a big lump.
And you think
fucking
that it's gonna
5
fucking, you think it's gonna do you a favour?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. But yeah, so you know that, George. So I've come down. I'm the fittest I've ever been, even though I'm the oldest I've ever been. And I do believe BKB is where I found my sort of footing. Professional boxing didn't fucking tick the boxes I wanted. My last opponent was he was 22, I think, and I was 36. He fucking run rings around me. It was like he had eight fucking hands. You know what I mean? That's because I think in professional boxing, the sort of stature of the amateur fights can really sort of unpick you. In BKB, George, it's so cutthroat, like what Aaron was saying. I've been on the good end of it, last knockouts going my way, and then on the receiving end of it with Jack Arnfield. Obviously, Jack was he's a great boxer, and I jumped the levels there, you know, to take him on bare knuckle because I wanted to get that achievement. His clean boxing is what see him through, but that's the danger of BKB. And like Aaron said, it is the attraction of it, George, and I feel that's where I'm getting my work off, and I'm sort of ready for anything. So whether Aaron would be, you know, 22 or 32, 42, it's a fight, mate. He could be a very fit 40-year-old or a not very fit 20-year-old. You know, there is difference in it, George. And I believe that anybody sort of chasing their goals, no matter what their age, mate, they can be as fit as anything, you know.
Definitely. It's about the hunger. The more hungry you are, the more you are going to work your ass for it.
That's right, man. You know that. Definitely.
So to slightly remodel the question for you, Aaron, obviously you're 23 years old. You've started off this bare knuckle journey. Why bare knuckle boxing? Why haven't you gone the more traditional route, the gloved route, the mixed martial arts?
For me, it's, you know, when you see a lot of people going into pro boxing, they start at a very, very young age. I did not start at a very young age. I've been doing it a few years now.
Yep.
I've had my fair few of fights. I've won a lot. I've lost a couple. I don't know. I feel that the younger you start, the more you're going to be pushed towards the amateur route, the professional route, and then, you know, you can make something from that. But if you start, you know, later on in life, by the time you're 22, if you're not professional, you know, in my opinion, I don't feel you're going to go far in professional boxing. So, you know, with bare knuckle becoming a bigger attraction, and, you know, fans are starting to love it more because they just love the, how can I put it, like a Viking side of it. You know, it's proper fucking ruthless fighting. But at the same time, there's a lot of skill involved. So, yeah, for me, I think you've got to be more, you know, very precise, and, you know, you've got to think a hell of a lot more than you do in gloved boxing, no matter what level you are. So, yeah.
Agreed. And for you, Paul, looking at Aaron, obviously there isn't too much footage out there. He's coming in as an unknown quantity. What can you expect from Aaron Foster come fight night?
I don't really look at footage, George. You know that. I don't I might watch, say, if someone says, oh, this is your opponent, here's a film of him, whatever. I might watch 30 seconds of it just to get the sort of stamp of the physique. But that's it. Every fight's different. Aaron's never fought me. I've never fought Aaron. Aaron's going to throw punches that I've not seen him throw before because he's fighting me, and vice versa. I don't really go on the videos and that. Aaron's obviously like a game fella. He's coming, like he said, coming from his little bit of boxing background, and his bare knuckle he's done. He wants to make a name for himself, so I'm taking it as a very serious fight. You know, I'm not being funny. I cringe saying this, but I've sort of made a bit of a name for myself coming up and then calling on the fight with Chris, getting the wins I have. There's a little bit of buzz there, George. Not that I'm not, you know, whatever. I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse, but it's just happened. And then if Aaron theoretically takes me out, that's the fucking cold-hearted truth. He's the man, isn't he, George? Like, he's then on that journey. So it's a very serious fight for me. I'm looking at Aaron as a very serious opponent. Despite what like, I'm not studying Aaron thinking, oh, he's a great technician or he does this or does that. I'm thinking he's a young, hungry man and he's coming to have it. So, yeah,
I'm a fat bastard now. I'm a fat bastard now. I've got to go up a bit.
Look down, love, my man.
Fucking done me rotten.
What is your weight right now, Aaron?
I am just under 78. I've got, I think, like 0.2 of a pound or something like that to put on to make the kilo. So, yeah, not a lot. But it's only because I've been running a lot. So, yeah, where I've been losing a lot of weight. I started off, I think I was 82 when I started. And I was just non-stop running. And then it was, conditioning and, pad work, sparring and so forth. Yeah. And I've just lost it over time gradually. And I thought, yeah, I'm still above it. I haven't bothered weighing myself. And then obviously I weighed myself today and I'm literally just under. So, yeah, I mean, I got to go up a little bit. But I usually, when I fight, I'm a bit lower. So, it's a different class for me.
Where would you usually fight? What's your usual weight fight night?
Middleweight, 75 to 70 usually.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going up a little bit. So, it's a bit new to me. But at the same time, I'm not going to complain because if lockdown does fuck off at some point, there's a cruiserweight fight for me in March. So, yeah.
Wow. Cruiserweight.
Yeah, big fat bastard me.
Blimey, fair play. So, sticking with you, Aaron, emotions on fight night. Obviously, this is your debut in BKB. You've done bare knuckle boxing before. We haven't actually added that. You have had 2 bare knuckle fights with Fight Club UK. But this is the next level. This is BKB. This is professional now. Where is your emotional state right now, 3 weeks away from fight night?
Very calm, very collective, and I'm very, very excited. It's a new level. It's not your average, your typical Joe that just goes, fuck it, I'm going to jump in and have a fight. So for me, I'm really, really excited. I know Paul's going to bring his A game and, I'm going to give him the same back, which on the night, it's just going to be a fucking war between the pair of us and someone's going to come out victorious and it's going to be a fucking brilliant night. So, I mean, that's all we can ask for as fighters, really. We both want to win. And, like everyone says, I've got to make a name for myself. Paul's obviously already made a name for himself. 2021, I want to chase belts. So, got to go somewhere.
Brilliant. And just to finish things off, for you, Paul, your message to your future opponent, Aaron Foster?
I don't do all that shit, George. Fuck all that. That just ain't me, bruv. Listen, my message to Aaron is I hope that we have a fucking powerful tear-up and put a great show on for the pay-per-view and we both go home safe that night, win, lose or draw, who the fuck, whatever, you know what I mean? What will be, will be. But like I say, we both go home to our family safe and put on one fucking sick fight where it looks like we ain't going to get home safely, but we do make it home safely. You know what I mean?
And likewise to you, Aaron, your final message to Paul?
Yeah, all I'm going to say is bring the A game because I'm bringing it and we're going to have a fucking great night.
Brilliant. Perfect. Well, very respectful, very different to the Hubert Gevin Smudger Smith conference call, that's for sure. But guys, 27th of November, BKB lockdown. The link for the pay-per-view will be in the description. These 2 guys are going to go to war. You can guarantee that. Thank you guys for your time.
Cheers,
anytime.
Cheers, Aaron.
Bye. And you, buddy.
Where are you?